Death is not our favorite conversational topic, but because we don't know what awaits us once we die, it is also the biggest mystery on the planet. It both intrigues and frightens us. Okay, we don't mean to seem creepy, but there are numerous ways to die, peacefully, painfully, or suddenly. Here are the top 5 agonizing deaths throughout history. On number 5, we have Gregory Rasputin, a Russian self-proclaimed spiritual healer and future preacher. He significantly impacted Nicholas II's royal dynasty, the last Russian emperor. He made a lot of enemies because of this, who poisoned him. The issue was that Gregory survived. Then he pursued and stabbed his assassins. During his hunt for the killers, Gregory was shot, but once more he survived. He began to crawl at the person to strangle one of his adversaries. Gregoria attempted to flee, but was shot once more. His assailants captured, bound him, placed him in a bag, and then dropped the bag into the river. 2 days later, when the sack was discovered, it still bore signs and suggested Gregory was still alive and had attempted to escape. How he wished he could have died quickly. That would have been so much more painless for him. On number 4, we have Persephone. In the days of ancient Greece, he was an inventor. The brazen bull, also referred to as the bronze bull, was one of his inventions. Persephone created this as a means of both torturing and killing offenders. He gave it to Phalaris, a tyrant from Sicily, who was offended and chose to use it on Persephone for the first time. The hollow bronze bowl could accommodate a man inside of it. The imprisoned bull could breathe through a tube hooked to its mouth, turning the screams into a bull call. The bull was set on fire and heated up immediately after the victim was placed inside. Persephone was dragged out and thrown downhill just before he passed away. Next in line, we have Deborah Stone. She was an 18-year-old worker at a Disneyland attraction. America Sings hosted the worst Disneyland incident. Just 9 days after its debut, the wall, which was at the time motionless, began to rotate as she moved through it, crushing her between the building's 2 walls. Audience members who heard Deborah scream initially believed they were all performers in the play. On number 2, we have Junko Ferreira. A group of evil men abducted her. She was only a 17-year-old teenage girl from Japan. For 44 straight days, she was imprisoned and subjected to abuse. She was only given cockroaches to eat and could only drink her urine. She was sodomized and raped every day using various tools, including shattered bottles, cigarettes, and explosives. Her legs bore visible signs of numerous ignited fires. She thrashed with golf clubs and iron barbells while suspended from the ceiling. She eventually passed away, and her body was discovered under a concrete barrel in Tokyo. One question: did those men not have hearts? How could they do this to anyone? And finally, number 1 on the list is Hiroshi Ouch. He was a Japanese worker at a nuclear power facility. Hiroshi received a fatal radiation in 1999 when the substance he was working with malfunctioned. As a result, his chromosomes were destroyed and his skin peeled off. However, he did not pass away quickly. Instead, he was kept alive by medical professionals researching how radiation affects people. He pleaded for death after 10 days of cruel torture, and the misery persisted for another 3 months. We may have made some great scientific discoveries through this, but one thing is clear: humans need to learn something about humanity. So this was it for the video. Tell us whose death scared you the most in the comment section below. We'll see you next time, hopefully.